corners and ignoring court rulings. Today, a committee looking into scandals that have rocked the Department of Corrections released their findings. KMTV Action 3 News reporter Josh Egbert was there and has more on who the committee says is at fault. Josh?
Well, Emily, this 62-page report outlines what a special investigative committee calls dysfunction at the Department of Corrections. They place the blame of that dysfunction on Nebraska's top elected official. After months of interviews and investigations, a special legislative committee looking into multiple prison scandals has come to a conclusion.
In our judgment, overcrowding began to drive the policy decisions and the behavior of the staff at the Department of Corrections.
In June, it was discovered that hundreds of inmates were released early because prison staff had miscalculated sentences. The committee found a Nebraska Supreme Court decision outlining how to calculate release dates had not been followed and called for Corrections Director Mike Kinney's dismissal.
The first person is Director Kinney. We've suggested that person not be the director under the next administration.
The committee also suggested firing Prison Records Administration Kyle Poppert and Deputy Director Larry Wayne because they knew about problems in the DOC and did nothing about them. But ultimately, the committee places the blame on Governor Dave Heineman.
The things that happened in the Department of Corrections are right at the doorstep of the governor.
The committee also recommends firing prison psychologist Dr. Mark Weilich for convicted killer Nico Jenkins being released instead of receiving mental health treatment in prison.
The finger points directly at Dr. Weilich in our judgment.
The report says Dr. Weilich did not disclose the severity of Jenkins' mental illness.
He was placed in solitary confinement or into administrative confinement for long stretches. 60% of the time he spent incarcerated.
State Senator Steve Lathrop, who had chaired the committee, says had Weilich told the Ombudsman's office about Jenkins' desire to kill once released, his murderous rampage just days after being let out could have been prevented. The committee did recommend changes to prevent anything like this from happening again. They say corrections will be the marquee issue when the legislature reconvenes in January. We have the committee's full findings and a list of their recommendations posted on our website at KMTV.com. Reporting live in the news center, Josh Egbert, KMTV Action 3 News.